Alright, hello everybody. hello and welcome. How's everybody doing? What's up? Phil here live on the stream. Today is Sunday. Sunday, salty Sunday. Yes. Even though this whole week has been salty, today is the actual day that we have termed Salty Sunday. For a good reason. I've been playing fighting games on Sundays for the last several months. In fact, it started way back in June when I got my Nintendo Switch and I started playing Ultra Street Fighter 2. And I pretty much kept up with that almost the entirety of the summer. And now it is autumn. It is the fall. And I've kept up with that. You know, last week I played Dragon Ball FighterZ, the beta. And now we are playing Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 24th of September, 2017. Okay, we are quickly approaching the end of September and approaching Broketober, Nopetober, whatever you want to call it. If you're not aware, I got a burp. I knew that was coming. Excuse me. Oh my god, it came out of nowhere. Ooh. Let's try this again. Excuse me. Broketober or Nopetober. If you're not aware, this is the month of the year when there are so many huge AAA releases coming out in such a short period of time. There's no possible way that, number one, you could afford them all, and number two, you could possibly play them all at once. We're talking ginormous, big releases such as Middle-earth: Shadow of War, The Evil Within 2, South Park: The Fractured Butthole. And yes, I said butthole, not butthole. I said butthole. Assassin's Creed Origins. Ooh. How about Wolfenstein? The New Colossus. Haha, I remembered the second part of the title. I almost forgot it. On the fly, I remembered. And Mario Odyssey. And then apparently, you know, in addition to all of that, there may be some episodic releases in the month of October as well. Strong rumors that the next episode of Batman may be releasing. You know, there's also always the potential that a new Guardians of the Galaxy episode will be releasing. So, yeah, it is a crazy month. Basically, 6+ releases. Now, there's more than that, by the way. I didn't even mention WWE. There's a new WWE game this year, obviously. There's one every year. And there's actually a few others as well. But I am basically focusing on the games I just mentioned. Those are the ones that are going to be the big releases for me in the month of October. Alright. So that being said, yeah. We've got a lot to do before we get to Broketober, folks. We've got continuing on with my coverage of MVC Infinite. I've got to finish up Mario plus Rabbids. Alright. And apologies because my freaking nasal drip is bothering me today. Hopefully it dries up here. We've also got Cuphead coming out this coming Friday. So that's kind of the new release agenda. Now, if I do wrap up any of these things before we hit Broketober, and the new releases of October, which start on the 10th? Yes, it's the 10th of October when the new releases actually begin. If I do wrap up any of these games that I'm playing, we'll be beginning my downtime playthrough, my Patron's Choice playthrough of Spyro the Dragon 1. I've never played a Spyro game before. I'm interested to see what the heck they're all about, because I have no idea. So it should be pretty interesting. So that's kind of the whole you know, agenda. Now keep in mind, I've been saying that I'm going to take some time off in early October, and that does stand. In fact, I really need it now with all the stress and everything I'm going through. I know I haven't really given you guys any updates or anything regarding the situation I'm going through right now. It's on purpose. Because of the fact that, you know, so much stress and everything, and I really don't have any updates, and I can't really talk about anything going on right now anyway. I hope to hopefully have positive news, you know, within the next few weeks, but I don't know if I will, quite honestly. In regards to everything, my financial situation, my health, being able to stay here in this house, or sell it, or anything. I don't know. It's all up in the air, folks. It's all up in the air right now. And I'll have hopefully updates for you that are positive soon. All right. But regardless of what happens with all that, I need some time off. I haven't had any significant time away from constant streaming and gameplay since mid-July. When I took that last time off for a few days. So that being said, in early October, it appears to be either the 3rd or 4th. What I'm thinking is maybe on the 3rd will be my final day where I'm doing gameplay streams. I may do a half day. I'm not sure yet. But definitely I think starting October 4th, I will be off from streaming. And it's looking like it's going to be about 4 days, and then I'm going to be returning on the 8th. On the 8th, what I may do is not do a full day, but maybe come back later, do like a late night stream or something to get myself back into the groove, which would then give me that Monday the 9th to be a normal double stream day to get back into the swing of things before Middle-earth Shadow of War releases. In fact, maybe what I'll do is do one gameplay stream. One gameplay stream that will be like a mainstream, and then maybe that night do a midnight release of Shadow of War. I could do that. That could be pretty interesting. I haven't done a midnight release since August with Sonic Mania. Because honestly, let's be honest here. There's been a lot of releases. There really haven't been a lot of ginormous AAA releases. You know what I mean? I think in October, I'm going to be doing a lot of midnight release streams. I think so. Because pretty much every release in October is huge. Every game that's coming out in October, everyone wants to see, right? So, yes, folks. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So either the 3rd or 4th, it's not solid yet. I'll be starting some time off, time away from streaming, and I'll be returning on the 8th at some point, in some capacity. All right. So it's about 4 whole days away, which will give me some time to recuperate. It'll give me some time to clean my house because I haven't cleaned it since freaking July. So I'll, give everything a good once over, dust everything. I might even call a guy to come and do maintenance on my furnace because the last time I did it was over 2 years ago. And it makes sense maybe have him come and change the filter, make sure everything's working properly because the fall is here, and right now it's fine. Right now it's between anywhere from 50 to 70 degrees outside, so the temperature in the house is fine, but I suspect within the next month or two, once we get into the more, cooler, wintry temperatures, maybe by, say, November, I might want to actually turn on my furnace, and I want to make sure everything's clean and everything, so I may have someone come by to look at that. We'll see. But I plan to get a lot done during those few days away from streaming. Now, excuse me. All that being said, what that means is those few days before I go off from streaming, I'm going to be playing a ton of games. I'm going to be playing Cuphead. I'm going to be playing MVC Infinite. I'm probably going to do a few sessions of Ultra Street Fighter 2. I'm going to probably try to do the raid in Destiny 2. My goal is to basically extend my hours for those few days before I go off, for time off, so that I have extra videos that I can upload during the time off. I want to have enough gameplay footage. I want to get enough gameplay footage so that, it's not, there's nothing on YouTube for entire days. Because, folks, sadly, this is what happens with YouTube, is if you have time away where there's nothing going on with no videos, the viewership basically stagnates. And it's sad because, people have lives. People, especially someone who runs a YouTube channel like me who's just one person. There's times when I'm going to have to step away, but that's what happens with YouTube. You go away for a week or two, and all of a sudden you come back. Where is everybody? They forgot about your channel. So, yeah, I want to try to at least have a few days of footage. You know what I mean? Like a batch a day, at least, for the 4 days that I'm going to be away. At least have a batch of videos a day. So that way there's nothing, it's not like, oh, YouTube's completely stagnated or whatever. Alright? It does suck that I won't be streaming for 4 days, because as you guys know, streaming has become a major source of my income. by streaming every day here. You know, at least in the month of August, streaming made more money for me than YouTube did. I don't know about this month. This month, you know, there's only, what, 6 days left? Actually, no, 7 days left. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There's technically 7 days left in the month, if you're including today. And right now, it's actually saying that my profit's down this month. I was like, whoa, really? Because I thought this month was great. You know what it is? I think a lot more people tipped me this month than anything else, which I asked for, so thank you for that. But because of that, I looked, and compared to last month, apparently the revenue on Twitch is way down because I think a lot of people tipped. So, you know, Twitch doesn't capture that data. It only captures the data for cheers and subs. So, that being said, everybody, you know, I'm planning to go crazy, basically, for like 3 straight days before I take my time off. I may even be doing 3 streams, or I may be doing, like, really extended streams. So, we'll see how that goes. And go from there. Alright, so, there you go. Now you have a rough idea of what to expect in the next few weeks before my time off, and then you know what to expect when I come back. Major releases. Pretty cool. Now, I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow, everybody, is a different kind of day. Similar to how Friday went, where Friday I had an inspector here looking at my fire alarm in the house, and basically took forever, so I couldn't do a gameplay stream at the normal time. Same thing's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a very important appointment in the early afternoon. It was the only time that was available, so I know it sucks. I would have went in the morning if I could have, but only thing available was early afternoon. And I don't know how long this appointment's going to take. I don't know when I'm going to be back from it. What I'm planning on doing is I'll go to the appointment, and then on the way back, I'll grab some food, and then I'll start a stream. Now, I don't know when it's going to be. It could be, I don't know, 3 p.m. It could be 5 p.m. It could be 7 p.m. I don't know. I have no actual clue how long this is going to take. So, what I suggest to all of you folks is, if you're interested in my gameplay stream tomorrow, tune into social media, alright? At They Call Me DSP. And let me know what's going on. Alright, let me know what's going on. Boy, I did completely screw that one up. I'll let you know what's going on via social media. I'll tell you when I'm going to be available to stream. There's going to be one major gameplay stream tomorrow. Even if it starts late, it's still going to be probably a 3 to 4 hour stream. Alright? Boy, did I say that backward. So I'll let you know. I'll let you all know. Alright? And we'll go from there. Sound good? So that's tomorrow. It's just one gameplay stream. But then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, I'm back to the normal schedule, where it'll be 2 streams. You know, earlier stream will be Marvel vs. Capcom. Later stream will be Mario plus Rabbids. And that's going to be, you know, for the majority of the week until Friday when Cuphead releases. Okay? Fair enough? Alrighty, folks. So a few things. Number one, I haven't mentioned this in a long time, although obviously you can see it here on my pre-streams. My Teespring, it still exists. I know I haven't brought it up in a long time, but you know, I do have a merch store, and anything you buy from that merch store, I get a pretty big commission from. Right, today I'm actually wearing my Skull Design t-shirt, which is one of my favorites, if not my favorite shirt on the entire store. Check it out. There it is. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. You know, the holidays are coming up, and wouldn't you like a nice King of Hate shirt stuffed into your stocking? My God, that sounds so stupid. I don't know how people advertise stuff. I really don't. I don't know how people do it. It sounds so terrible. But anyway, give it a look, especially if you haven't, because I haven't mentioned it now in weeks, if not a month, probably more than a month. Because it is here in the pre-roll of the pre-stream. You know, I don't audibly mention it. But please give it a look and consider. All right? Ooh, I got a burp. Wow, there we go again. Woo! God damn. All right, excuse me. Also, folks, Patreon. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. The Patreon drive continues. Like I said, there's basically 7 days left in the month at this point for you to pledge to my Patreon for the month of September. This month, the goal is a Halloween horror marathon. If we hit the funding goal, I'll be doing a Halloween horror marathon, and if you pledge $5 or more, you can nominate and vote on the games to be involved in this marathon. And you'll be voting on the type of costume that I will be wearing during the marathon. However, I'll be honest with everyone, we're over $250 below the goal. I think it's like $260 at this point or something like that. It's doable. We've got a whole week. If people step up and say, oh man, I want to see that, you know, then there you go. But people need to step up and pledge. So keep in mind, it's not just about this monthly goal either. By pledging, you earn things such as pretty cool perk levels, like getting text or verbal thank yous in my videos, getting your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, which is happening next month in October, by the way. So this would be a great opportunity for you to pledge and get your question answered on the show. You get a private Q&A video made where I'll do, you know, a 20-plus minute video for you, answering whatever questions you may have. Everyone who I've ever made that video for loved it. So please consider pledging if you have not. The funds from my Patreon directly fund my efforts to continue doing daily gameplay streams and on-demand videos, including paying for the electricity, paying for the cost of internet, paying for the games, paying all of my bills. That's why Patreon's important. And listen, I'm fully aware that, man, I got a frog in my throat right now. There we go. Oh, stupid frog got caught right in my throat. I had to get him out there, ribbit. Okay, so I'm fully aware that people in the past few months have stepped up with the cheering, the subbing, and the tipping on streams. I get that, and I am appreciative of that, but the Patreon income is also incredibly important to me. So please consider pledging if you have not. I would love to do this Halloween horror marathon, but we have to hit the goal. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my throat today. My throat is like bleh, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. All right. And, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, as I just mentioned, you can cheer, sub, and tip during the course of today's stream. I'm very appreciative of anything that you contribute during the stream. If you do, I will give you a shout out. In fact, I have a bunch of shout outs which I will be giving in just a moment for those who have already cheered, subbed, and tipped on pre-stream, okay? Now, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you sub to the channel and click the share button, or if you tip me $2 or more, I will actually also have a on-screen pop-up notification for you. So it's both visual. Man, boy, what is going on in my throat? I was fine when I started pre-stream. Anyway, I will give you both visual and verbal, you know, recognition for your contributions here today on stream. Sound good? If you do have the freedom and or option to choose how you would contribute, like for example, man, I like to cheer or sub or tip Phil, but I wonder what helps him the most right now. The answer right now would be tipping, because until mid-October, when I get paid for the really outstanding August that I had, including, you know, being the best streaming month that I've ever had, things are very financially tight for me. And so the tips are really helping, because the tips I get right now, while the cheers and subs I'm actually going to get in 2 months. Why it takes 2 months to clear, I have no idea. It's the same thing with YouTube. Anything I do this month on YouTube, I don't get paid for 2 months. That's just how it always been. But the tips I get right away, and I'm able to apply to bills and stuff right away. So if you can, please tip me. But if not, if you don't have the choice or whatever, I am very appreciative of any contributions, you know, cheers and subs. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth in any way, shape, or form, okay? All right, now, time for shout-outs, and then we'll get started with gameplay here. And by the way, if you're wondering what the gameplay will be today, it's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite online play. Pure online play. Not trying any new characters today, because I already tried new characters yesterday, Nemesis and Morgan, and I didn't even play with Morgan yet, because I started playing with Nemesis and having Or not really, let me put it this way. Was I like ecstatic, having so much fun, loving the game? No, I wasn't. But I was actually doing well. I was doing well in the game, and I said, well, why am I going to, you know, change characters when I'm actually on a, you know, on a tear here, doing really well, even against people who were, you know, using the high level combos and everything. I was still winning. And I was like, wow, this is pretty damn good. So I'm going to stick with it today and just do online play today. Okay, that's what all you want to see anyway. Let's face it, none of you want to see me in training mode or whatever. You want to see me online, so that's what today's going to be. I will give you what you want on Salty Sunday, okay? Alright, so shout out to, first of all, let's do some shout outs. Golden Colt and Game Master 2003 is dead, both of who cheered me overnight while I wasn't here. I'm very appreciative of those overnight cheers. Thank you once again, gentlemen. Shout out to Fire Sakura, who not only subbed to the channel, but also tipped me $5.55. And Fire Sakura says the most common way for people to give up their power is by thinking they don't have any, so never give up. A nice quote that I found on Google. I hope that this will help you through the day. Thank you, Fire Sakura, for your support. Very nice. Alright. Kekez3 did a 10-bit cheer. And he says, if you don't support our national anthem, Phil, you need to get the fuck off of Twitch. I respond to that by saying whenever the theme song of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite plays, I lock arms with everyone around me and I take a knee. There you go. A very pertinent comment, a very timely comment, right? All right. Shout out to Last Rambo 341 who did a 100-bit cheer. He says, after playing MVC Infinite for a while, would you consider trying the future DLC characters when they come out? I don't know. Let me put it this way. Okay. Let me keep playing it this week. As you know, I'm playing it all week this week. It's my major game for this week until Friday. Let me continue to play it. Let me see what I think. Hopefully by the end of this week, I have more of a determination about what I think about the game. All right. The thing is, I already know the majority of gameplay of the game is going to be people mashing these fucking scrub combos and doing insanely safe gameplay, hiding behind reality gem projectiles and shit. It's just ridiculous at this point. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a very good high-level competitive game. Alright, but that's my opinion. Am I going to sink another $35 into the game for the season pass? I mean, does it deserve it? You know what I mean? Like, I think Venom, let me think of the characters. I think Venom, Monster Hunter, Black Panther are 3 of the characters. I don't know if any more have been announced for the season pass. I think what they said is that each character is like $5 or something like that. So there's going to be at least like 6 or 7 characters, supposedly. I don't know. I mean, I'd consider it. But would people actually care? Let me put it this way. If I do get the season pass, when these characters release, either later this year or next year, are people going to care for me to come back to this game and cover these characters? Or is it going to die out? Because that's the thing. Right now, at this moment, all right, there's a lot of, you know, attention on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because it's the only new fighting game. But let me give you some perspective here. As soon as Dragon Ball FighterZ comes out, no one's going to care. I'm being real here. No one is going to care about this game. This game is going to be dropped like a hot flaming rock, and everyone's going to migrate over to Dragon Ball. And that's coming out in, what, March? So, do I really want to spend $35 on characters that no one's going to give 2 shits about once the actual hype game comes out? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, let me put it this way. I'm not 100% against it yet. All right. Let me play it this week. Let's see what happens. And I may return to this game. This game may become my Salty Sunday game for a while. Maybe I'll play MVC Infinite every Sunday just to stay in line with the game. Okay. And just to say, okay, you know, here it is. I'm not sucking. I'm actually able to, you know, stay on a level where I understand the cast of the game or whatever. And we'll go from there. All right? I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. I'll say it's a possibility, and we'll see. All right, shout out to Phil is Love, Phil is Life, who tipped me $1 and said, Who are the top 3 Street Fighter or Capcom fighting game players during the era that you were playing? And are they still relevant and playing today? Thanks and keep up great coverage. See, here's the thing. It depends on what game. I'll give you, let's go through the list. Super Turbo. The top guys were always usually the West Coast guys, including guys like Alex Valle, Mike Watson, Seth Killian, not Bob Painter, Bob Painter was good, though. He was a good Honda player. Jason Cole. Absolutely. One of the best Dalseems ever. You know, it was kind of an inclusive club. Because Street Fighter, even though it was popular in the 90s, really didn't have a hotbed of competitive activity except for the West Coast. But then, in the late 90s, it kind of blew up when games like the Versus series started coming out and more people started playing. I would say on the East Coast, the top players were always Eddie Lee, Arturo Sanchez, Josh Wigfall, Mike D, and then eventually Justin. Henry Sen. I definitely got to give a shout out to Henry Sen. He was always a top player too, and of course a very high level tournament organizer, good guy. But Justin Wong was kind of the second wave of East Coast players. He wasn't in the original OGs of the East Coast. And then along with Justin came other people like Sanford Kelly and stuff like that. This big second wave of kind of East Coast players all kind of came up together. And then, of course, along with that, then, of course, new West Coast players started coming up at the same time. So, you know, I could sit here and I could talk for hours about the different various players who were good at different games. That's the thing. If you would ask me who was the best at this game, then I could probably tell you. But everyone was usually good at different games, and, you know, they kind of traded spots. So I can't really definitively answer that question, but I just gave you a shout out to the top kind of East Coast players of the time, of the day. There you go. YOLO Dopper did a 10-bit cheers. How much do you think big YouTubers pay their 10-man production teams? I certainly wouldn't know. I was never a big YouTuber. You'd have to ask the big YouTubers. You know, there was one actual year on YouTube that I made a ton of money. It was the very first year that I was partnered with Machinima. And then after that, the YouTube bubble burst. And it was on a downward trend ever since. So, yeah. There you go. Al Hans Jeffrey did a 75-bit cheer, saying that he thinks that I'm under audit and I owe a bunch of back taxes. That is not correct. But a lot of people have been hypothesizing. They've been trying to figure out what is the problem with Phil that he's so stressed right now and everything. People actually made up this story. You got to hear this one. This is a good one. So I apparently own a shell company called DSP Enterprises. And apparently I've been using this shell company to get tax write-offs for years. And apparently the federal government, IRS, has audited me and has found out that this shell company exists and is now saying all those write-offs are invalid and you owe, you know, a ridiculous amount of back taxes. Now, this is the most preposterous thing I've ever heard in my life. This is seriously like... Huh? Like, how do people even get these ideas in their fucking heads? You want to know how people got this idea? This is hilarious. You're going to really laugh. You ready? So, when I registered to get business class internet in the state of Washington here under Comcast, Comcast requires that you enter a company name. Now, I told them, I said, I don't own a company. I don't have a company at all. You know, it's just me. I'm self-employed. I work from home. So I need your best level internet, even though technically I don't own a business, so I can't put anything down. And they said, just put anything. It doesn't matter. Just put anything down on the sheet. It doesn't matter. It's just data for us to track your account. It doesn't matter. So I put down DSP Enterprises. And then it was funny because I have 2 internet lines here. So when I was doing the second one, I said, it says it again. And they said, well, you can't use the same name. Put something else down. So I put DSP Enterprises second account. And apparently when whoever it was that, got my old password about a month ago, right? They got my old password to a bunch of accounts, and it just so happens it was my business internet that was using this old password. Whoever this was logged into my account and saw that it said, oh, DSP Enterprises, Phil's got a fake company. Oh, he's going to get audited. And shit like that. Like, it's just like, what is going on? This is so crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's just so insane. There's no company named DSP Enterprises. But people see this one thing from, you know, someone logged into my fucking internet account and they think a company exists. It doesn't. Unbelievable. But anyway, that's what I mean. Like, people are trying to hypothesize what's going on with me. And I knew that was going to happen when I made that video about a week ago. I knew that people would be trying to guess what's going on. And I knew that no one would get it right, too. Because it is such a ridiculous story. So like I said, it's something that's not in my control. Something that's not in your control. I'm not at fault. You're not at fault. It's just something so fucking... I'm sure eventually I'll tell you, but I just can't tell you now. Alright? I definitely need more info and, you know. Alright. So, Vera did a 10-bit cheers. How's your day been? Day's been alright. Honestly, today was a slower day. I couldn't really wake up today. I don't know why. Some days this happens. I just get tired. Fell asleep on the goddamn couch again last night. This is becoming a pattern now, which isn't good. I keep falling asleep on the couch and waking up early in the morning. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I finally get to bed. So I gotta try to start to get to bed earlier, I guess, so that I can actually get sleep in my bed instead of on my couch, because it's not good for me. Typically, when I'm falling asleep on the couch, I don't feel so good. Which, honestly, is probably why all my sinuses and everything are screwed up today. But, it is what it is. I have gotten... Did a 10-bit cheer and said, sell out. I don't know if that's an insult, or I have no idea what that's in response to, so, there you go. Vera did another 10-bit cheer. She says, you should make tips, cheers, and Teespring sales count towards the Halloween stuff. Well, then what's the point of Patreon? The point of Patreon is to have a campaign where I'm going to give you perks and I raise funds. If everything else counts towards it, then why have Patreon? Why? You know what I mean? And if I shut down Patreon, am I necessarily going to get all those people who are ongoing pledgees to Patreon to do funding from other ways? No. Because some people just like giving in different ways. It's just that simple. Some people just have an ongoing pledge. Some people like to do cheer subs or tips. Some people like to buy merch from Teespring. Options are good because it allows people to contribute in various ways. If I didn't have all these different ways, I wouldn't be here. So no, I can't have every single little thing contribute towards the marathon, because very simply, that's not how it works. For Patreon to work, you need to have a motivating factor for people to pledge. And, you know, that's how it works. If I just did the event and said, oh, people contributed in other ways completely unrelated to Patreon, let's do the Patreon celebration event, it wouldn't make much sense. Alright, shout out to Hitomi 1, who did a 10-bit cheer, says, why don't you follow the president on Twitter? I don't know. Why don't I follow a bunch of people on Twitter? Why do I need to follow the president? The bottom line is I know what the president tweets anyway because it's in the fucking news constantly. It's so stupid. Why do they have to constantly report on what the president tweets? I don't know, but they do. It's like every fucking day, news article about what he tweeted. 47766 did a 10-bit cheer. Says, is Zelda Breath of the Wild overrated? It's a great game, but I feel they took out too much of what Zelda was unique for. No traditional dungeons and bosses for each, instead replaced with boring, simple puzzles. With all the shrines aesthetics looking the same, story is light, weapon degrades too quickly, it's inferior to Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Listen. There, did you hear it? That was my insight right there. Okay, no it wasn't. It was a disgusting belch, excuse me. Anyway, listen. Everyone has a different opinion. Everyone likes certain things and have different tastes, and other people have different tastes, right? And so, some people like the fact that Breath of the Wild was a more modernized Zelda. It followed a lot of gameplay factors and or gameplay traditions of more modern games. Open world roaming. You know, lots of enemies, and you know, no more traditional puzzle dungeons. Although there were 4 traditional puzzle dungeons in the game. But degrading weapons, right? Finding random loot, the looting system was crazy, very different from the previous Zelda games, right? So a lot of people like that because they said, you know, Zelda has adhered too much to this outdated formula. And a lot of people did not like that about Zelda, especially Zelda for the first time having fast travel, which was a great thing in my opinion, because previously you wasted so much effing time backtracking in Zelda games, and this one you didn't have to. You could just fast travel all around the map, which was great in my opinion. But the thing is, you're going to have these purists who love what Zelda always has been, and are going to say, you know what, I'm disappointed because now it's not traditional Zelda. So I get that. I could see both sides of the fence. Alright? I could see both sides. But it is what it is. Some people will like it, some people won't. I personally liked it. I thought it was a breath of fresh air for the Zelda franchise. But if you're a purist, you probably hated it. YOLO Dopper did a 20-bit cheers. How does wrapping your credit card debt into your mortgage help? Well, let me give you an example. Right now, let's say I had a certain amount of credit card debt. The interest rate on the credit card debt is much higher than a mortgage interest rate. In addition, the credit card debt is what's called revolving debt, meaning every single month, this debt gets interest calculated on it and added to the overall total. Okay? So it's a lot of interest on credit card debt. If that debt was to be wrapped into a mortgage is a much lower interest rate, first of all. All mortgages are much lower interest rates than credit card interest rates. And typically a mortgage is considered a fixed rate. What that means is the rate will never change. So with credit cards, the rate can fluctuate, could go up and down. With an interest rate on a mortgage, it usually never changes. And it's not a revolving debt, meaning it'll calculate a certain amount of interest on that debt, and that's what you'll pay, period. It will not recalculate the debt based on what you owe every month and add more interest. So wrapping up and consolidating debt into a mortgage or a second mortgage, it's a line of credit or a lien on a house or whatever you want to call it, is actually a much better thing than having a ton of outstanding revolving debt. There you go. A little bit of finance education for you from someone who has a degree in finance. Shout out to King of Hypocrisy who did a 10-bit cheer. He says, what's your opinion on the constant outrage surrounding Trump? Whenever I hear the constant outrage surrounding Trump, I link arms with everyone around me and I take a knee. There you go. I don't even know what that means, but... The Last Rambo did a 200-bit cheer and said, Sigma and Black Widow. I guess those are going to be new DLC characters for MVC Infinite. That's what I'm assuming. Thank you for the cheer, Last Rambo. The Frog in My Throat has done a 10-bit cheer. It says, their throat is nice and comfy. Ribbit. I wish you'd find a new home, asshole. Get out of here. Last Rambo did another 100-bit cheer, and he said, and Winter Soldier. Okay, so he's still going with the DLC characters. Apparently Winter Soldier will be a DLC character. There you go. McCree from Overwatch tipped me $2 and said, it's high noon. And then he immediately missed the ultimate and got completely destroyed by everybody. They all gangbanged him. Okay. Vera did a 10-bit cheer. Said, is it true that our Turco-Mongolian Japanese overlords dominate everything? Yes. Absolutely. Vera did another 10-bit cheer. She says, the only company I found under DSP Enterprises was an audio company from India. DSP is also short for Digital Signal Processor. That is correct. That is correct. King of Hypocrisy did another 10-bit cheer and said, the IRS found out about your Patreon millions stashed in the Cayman Islands. Yes. As you know, every month, the money that I make, all the tips, subs, cheers, the patron income, what I do is I launder all that money. And I put it into the Cayman Islands. And what I'm actually doing is I am researching to build a giant missile. And this missile will be shot into the sun to make the sun go supernova. Alright? I'm a super villain behind the scenes. Most people don't know this. That's why I'm called Darkside Phil. I'm a super villain. And I'm trying to destroy the planet. And this is the easiest way to do it. Is to launder all of your contributions. Not to keep playing fun games every day and sharing those fun experiences with you. I wouldn't want to do that. What I want to do is build my super missile to destroy the sun. There you go. Golden Colts did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, Golden Colts. Appreciate that. C. Dick tipped me $5 and said, love-based God Phil. Heart. Thank you, C. Dick, for the tip. Vera has done another 10-bit cheer. She says, in my opinion, it's best to just avoid getting in debt to begin with if possible. I know. Oh, I know. Let me tell you. You know, if I had known, if I could tell the fucking future, And I had known what was going to happen with YouTube and everything. Before I moved to Washington, I certainly would not have gotten into the situation that I'm in now. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have moved, but if I had moved, I maybe would have gotten a less expensive place, or maybe I wouldn't have furnished the house the way I did. Because, you know, I was making a pretty awesome amount of money when I moved across the country, and almost immediately when I moved, revenue plummeted on YouTube. Then we had the year with the false copyright strikes that screwed me over. Then the ad revenue went down again. Then we had the fucking adpocalypse. It's just like thing after thing after fucking thing. So, but you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20, right? If I could have seen the future, I would have done things differently. Sadly, I'm now in the situation I am, and it sucks. 47766 did a 10-bit cheers. His top 3 Street Fighter 2 players. Would you consider yourself up there and they're still around? I already said. I already mentioned for Super Turbo. Like I said, it was always the West Coast guys. You know, Valle, John Choi, Mike Watson. Those were the top guys, pretty much. 8888 IV. 10-bit cheer. Tom Brady just threw for 378 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. What the fuck? Well, there you go. By the Rockets' red glare, the footballs flying in air gave proof through the night that the NFL was still there. Okay, then. I don't know what's going on. High-Tech Specs did 100-bit cheer. It said, Phil is Thanos in disguise. That's why he's the king of hate and wants to destroy the sun. There you go. I told you, I'm a super villain. You didn't know this. If I'm a super villain, I'm like the lamest super villain from like the Venture Brothers or something. I have no money. I'm in debt. You know, I'm like the lamest super villain. And Vera did one more 10-bit cheer saying, sing the national anthem of Mongolia. I will opt not to do that. All right, folks. After a 42-minute pre-stream because people kept cheering, it's now time to start gameplay. What do you think? Sound good? All right, let's begin. Let me end the pre-stream and we shall begin.